What happened today at the Dambulla Cricket Stadium is not only a disgrace to the sport, but a shameful incident that has stained the history of cricket. The atmosphere was tense right from the start of the match, where an argument between the umpires and Indian captain Tilak Varma over bad light had already created an awkward bitterness. However, the physical violence and misconduct that unfolded after the super over left everyone completely stunned. When Sri Lanka A, chasing a target of 17 runs in the super over, stopped Vaibhav Suryavanshi with a brilliant Yorker on the final ball when 8 runs were needed, a volcano of emotions erupted on the field. The Sri Lanka A team was celebrating their victory, but Vaibhav Suryavanshi, completely failing to digest the defeat, crossed all boundaries and marched straight toward the Sri Lankan dugout. That is where the dark chapter of controversy began, one that the cricket world will never forget. According to eyewitnesses on the field, Vaibhav not only provoked the Sri Lankan players, but also shoved them publicly. When his teammates tried to pull him away, he turned around and hurled threats at the opposition, behavior that is miles away from any professional sports conduct. Sri Lanka A captain Sahan Arachchige, sharing his views in the press conference, said, "We only played cricket today and celebrated our victory, which is our right, but Vaibhav Suryavanshi's behavior was like a street thug. He not only jeopardized our safety, but also tore apart the respect of the game." Arachchige stated in strong words that Vaibhav should be banned because cricket is not a game of violence and threats. He added that they have submitted a written complaint to the match referee, explicitly demanding that such a player has no moral right to play on the international stage after turning his frustration into violence following a defeat. Following this incident, legends across the world have strongly condemned Vaibhav's behavior. Expressing his grief, Sachin Tendulkar said, "I have treated cricket like a religion throughout my life, and aggression on the field absolutely does not mean losing your dignity." Vaibhav is a very talented player, but what he did today is not only a warning for his career, but also causes heavy damage to the image of Indian cricket. Accepting defeat is the biggest test of a player's character, and I feel this young player urgently needs to learn the spirit of the game and life values. Sachin further added, "Today's incident is very tragic, and I hope the Indian board will take very serious action, because nothing is above discipline in sports." Ricky Ponting, heavily criticizing Vaibhav from a captain's perspective, said, "As a captain and a player, I have never heard any player threaten an opposition team on the field like this in my entire career. This is clearly a serious code of conduct violation, and if it is ignored today, discipline on the cricket field will be completely wiped out in the future." Ponting emphasized that Vaibhav should not just be banned, but handed a lengthy suspension, so he understands that talent on the field does not give anyone the right to bully others. Respect is paramount on the sports field, and Vaibhav insulted that respect today, which is unforgivable under any circumstances. Kevin Peterson, in his sharp style, remarked, "What happened today is an embarrassing situation for modern-day cricket, and I am shocked to see such aggressive behavior. Vaibhav Suryavanshi does not lack talent, but he is behaving like a spoiled brat who doesn't understand the meaning of losing. At the international level, you are representing your country, and a single wrong move tarnishes the image of the entire nation." Peterson added that the ICC needs to make strict rules for such cases, because if players dare to physically harm or shove the opposition in any way, they should be banned from cricket without any delay. Otherwise, the environment of the game will be completely ruined. Shoaib Akhtar, in his signature style, said, "I have always been a supporter of aggressive cricket, but there is a massive difference between aggression and rudeness. Vaibhav needs to understand that he is playing on a big stage. This is not a street match where you can just shove anyone, threaten them, and walk away." He added, "Brother, learn to accept defeat, because you become a big player only when you accept the sorrow of losing with a smile and learn from your mistakes." Vaibhav's behavior of threatening to beat up opposition players is highly substandard and cannot be supported under any circumstances. He must apologize immediately and correct his behavior, otherwise his future is dark.
Kumar Sangakkara, delivering a message of peace, said, "As a Sri Lankan, I am proud of my players who showed restraint even in such an aggressive situation. If our players had responded in the same manner, a massive disaster could have happened on the field today." Vaibhav is a young player, but that does not mean he should take the path of indiscipline. Sangakkara noted that the cricketing relations between India and Sri Lanka are age-old and respectful, and a single incident should not sour those ties. He appealed to both boards to resolve the matter together and teach Vaibhav that cricket is played not just for runs, but for character building. In the end, it's clear that this ground in Dambulla will be remembered as a dark chapter in history for that tense super over and Vaibhav's outburst. Will Vaibhav Suryavanshi realize his mistake? Will the Indian board take strict action against him? Or will this controversy end his career altogether? Only time will tell. However, one thing is certain. The cricket world saw a face today that stands completely opposite to the values of the sport. Passion and a hunger to win are essential in sports, but a passion that forgets to respect others is not sports. It's chaos. Hopefully, the Indian cricket team and Vaibhav himself will take a lesson from this incident that will help him become a better human being and player in the future. The cricket field will now look at him with suspicion, and he will have a very long way to redeem his conduct. Friends, in this fourth match of the Tri-Nation A Series 2026 against Sri Lanka A, a shocking and sensational incident unfolded on the field today, triggering a massive earthquake across the Indian cricketing fraternity. In this high-voltage clash being played at the Rangiri Dambulla International Stadium, when Sri Lanka A captain Sahan Arachchige won the toss and decided to bowl first, all eyes were on India's 15-year-old young baby sensation and wonder boy, Vaibhav Suryavanshi. Fans were expecting another explosive, fiery innings from Vaibhav, who had unleashed a fierce storm of runs in previous matches. But today, on this turning track of Dambulla, a pin-drop silence swept through the cricketing corridors when Vaibhav Suryavanshi was dismissed for just 21 runs after playing a highly irresponsible shot. Following Vaibhav's irresponsible dismissal, the fury of five of Indian cricket's biggest legends, namely Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Hardik Pandya, and Shubman Gill, have completely erupted. These icons went live to school Vaibhav Suryavanshi, delivering rigid and historic statements that have triggered a massive storm on social media. These legendary players have given a clear warning that if Vaibhav does not immediately fix his technical weakness and irresponsible attitude, the doors to India A and the senior team India will be shut for him forever, and he will be shown the exit door directly from the team. In today's special, extra-long, and completely exclusive Inside Deep analysis video, we are going to show you how the Indian batting lineup looked like a house of cards against the Sri Lanka A bowlers on the Dambulla field. We will play every single sharp word from Dhoni, Rohit, Kohli, Pandya, and Gill, which they uttered while threatening to drop Vaibhav Suryavanshi from the team after this flop innings. So make sure to watch the video with full enthusiasm right until the very end. And if you are a true and die-hard fan of Team India, give this video a beautiful like with full energy right now, friends. But friends, before moving ahead in this blockbuster and sensational report, what do you, the hardcore cricket fans, truly feel? Should Vaibhav Suryavanshi, who got out for just 21 runs, be dropped from upcoming longer formats and the senior team India, or should he get another chance? Share your valuable, unbiased, and completely bold opinion clearly with us in the community box below by typing VAIBHAV flop show or DIGGANJERS storm. Speaking of the match, after losing the toss against Sri Lanka A, when India A team stepped out to bat first, their start was extremely poor and sluggish. Opening batsman Prabh Singh faced just 13 balls, hitting 2 boundaries to score 11 runs before being caught by Vanuja Sahan off Mohammad Siraj's bowling. Following this, vice-captain Rituraj Gaikwad arrived at the crease to partner Vaibhav Suryavanshi. As soon as he arrived, Vaibhav faced 14 balls in his innings, smashing 3 crisp boundaries and a brilliant maximum, scoring 21 runs at a solid strike rate of 150. But just when he looked completely set and the team needed a big innings, he threw his wicket away by lofting a turning delivery from captain Sahan Arachchige into the air, and Vanuja Sahan took an easy catch. Vaibhav Suryavanshi departed in an irresponsible manner on an individual score of just 21 runs, leaving the entire Indian dugout in deep shock. After Vaibhav's dismissal, the Indian middle order choked completely. Rituraj Gaikwad did try to anchor the innings, but he scored just 37 runs off 42 balls with the help of 3 boundaries before falling LBW to Vijayakanth Vyaskanth's spin. Captain Tilak Varma failed to work any magic either, scoring 23 runs off 32 balls before handing a catch to Sadira Samarawika off the bowling of Kugatas Mathulan. Ayush Badoni played a snail-paced innings of 15 runs from 35 balls and became a victim of Vanuja Sahan. Nishant Sindhu scored just 6 runs before being caught behind by wicketkeeper Niroshan Dikwela off Vijayakanth Vyaskanth's spin.